Liberty herbicide applications, it's really important that we follow the S.T.O.P guidelines, S.T.O.P, which are application guidelines in order to optimize the efficacy of Liberty on weeds and in crop. Beginning with S, we're talking about starting clean and staying clean with using tillage, burn down herbicide applications, as well as effective pre-emergence herbicides such as Residual Pro to give us a really clean start to the year.
And the T in the S.T.O.P application guidelines stands for targeting smaller weeds, specifically 3 inches or less. And the reason that we're doing that is because, quite simply, smaller weeds are easier to control. For example, water hemp that's 2 inches tall has 7 to 9 growing points that we need to control. But if you double that and let that water hemp get to 4 inches tall, that number of growing points is actually going to double as well, which is going to make that weed that much more difficult to control. So targeting 3-inch weeds or less is really going to help with that Liberty control as well.
Next is O for optimized coverage. So with Liberty herbicide, we really want to optimize our coverage by getting more spray volume out, so 20 gallons per acre. We're talking about droplet sizes that are in that medium to coarse droplet size spectrum to get really good coverage on the weed surface. And then finally, that last option, if we're facing a lot of weeds, using a higher rate over that 32 fluid ounces rate.
And moving on to the P portion, that's going to be pair with residuals. So this is something that isn't even unique to Liberty herbicide. This is something that we preach for just good integrated weed management, which is we want to pair our herbicides with residual control, and we want to try to overlap our residuals so that before the first residual runs out that we applied at planting, we're already overlaying with another residual and basically limiting the window of weed emergence and preventing those weeds from coming out of the ground. Now remember, Liberty herbicide has no residual control, so it's only going to control weeds that are emerged. So it's very important that we pair it with a residual like a Residual SC or an Outlook herbicide, and make sure that we use multiple effective sites of action both in the pre and post-emergence applications, because research has shown that if we use multiple effective sites of action, we can reduce our potential for weed resistance to develop by 83 times compared with using just a single effective site of action.
Just to review, so S.T.O.P application guidelines. S, start clean, stay clean. T, target weeds 3 inches or less. O, optimize coverage. And then P, pair with residuals. So that really sets us up to use Liberty in the best way that we can. For more information about Liberty herbicide, contact your local area BASF representative or go to yourliberty-herbicide.com.